Fear the Walking Dead series premiere. Now, like a lot of people, I was really excited to see this show come out. I was very curious because it starts off before everything goes crazy. It's basically when Rick is in a coma, this is where the series starts. And we have, I believe, 6 weeks or 8 weeks or something like that, like a month and a half to 2 months of this show before the original series picks up again. So we're going to have this leading straight into the new season of The Walking Dead, which is really awesome in itself. But we also have a brand new story, brand new sets of characters, brand new location on the other side of the country, totally different. And it was pretty interesting to watch. It was sort of a slow start. Admittedly, I think it was. I was kind of surprised by how slow of a start it was because I know, it's only going to be like a 6 to 8 week show. So I was actually a little surprised that it started off so slowly. But I guess that at the same time, it makes sense instead of rushing right into all the insanity. It does have a nice build up and start, and we do get to learn about some of the characters, and it's like we see this dysfunctional family trying to sort of come together. We have a father who he has an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever, and a son who are in a different location, and he's moved in with his new wife or girlfriend or whatever and her family, and she has her own two kids, one of which is a drug addict who is the only character whose name I actually remember because they said it so much in this episode, and that's Nick, who is the first person we see as well. So right now he has like the most importance to the show and relevance. He also had, without a doubt, the best story throughout this episode compared to everyone else who was kind of just normal characters, and it's like they're kids, and then the adults just doing stuff and going through as who they are, and then you have like this drug addict character, or it's like he's through the episode, like he starts off, he already sees a zombie and his friend or girlfriend, once again whoever. So she's turned into a zombie. She's killing people. She was stabbed through. It looked like someone stabbed her with a machete. That's what it looked like to me. But I'm like, that's way too big of a weapon for them to just randomly have in the drug church. But that's how he starts things off, and I love the way they played it. And that's why I enjoyed his storyline more than anything. It was also the only one that wasn't just normal people, admittedly. But I love the aspect of him wondering if he actually saw it, and it was like him dealing with the fact that he does drugs all the time. It's like it could have been laced with something, and that's why I saw what I saw. But at the same time, it's like either I'm completely insane, the drugs were laced with something, or this is really happening. And it's like all of those were horrible outcomes ultimately, and the best one is really that it was laced with something, and that's really it. But I love that aspect of it, like him freaking out this whole time and trying to figure out whether or not what he saw was real. And it plays him through the whole episode. Like, he's the only person that's really plagued with it. Like, he sees it in the beginning. That sticks with him. Then he has the old guy next to him who's about to die. And the doctor's even talking about, like, oh, there's, if this doesn't work, we need to move him because there's already been, like, 2 other deaths and we don't freaking know what's happening. He's basically like, I just have a bunch of questions. We don't know what's going on. And they kind of glance over that because it's, doctor just talking to people who already know all the info. But he did say, like, if this doesn't work, then we have to move them here because we don't know, I don't know what else it could possibly be because the virus is starting to spread. So I really enjoyed that. And then, of course, it goes through and he ends up meeting his drug dealer who we think is just like an old friend of his or something that he kind of fell out with, when he started doing drugs. At least that's how I saw it when they went to the guy. It's like, oh, he was like an old friend of his and they were really good friends. And then it's like, they went different paths because his buddy started doing drugs. And then it turns out that, no, he's the one who actually sells the drugs. And he thinks he's, been outed. And so he's going to try to kill the guy. And then Nick, of course, survives that. And then it's like, oh, now he has to deal with the zombie. Although that does introduce the other two, the adult characters of the show. Officially to the zombies because they were in the traffic jam and they saw the video just like the kids did, where it's like, what the heck is going on here? So I love the aspect of that where he's just plagued by it. And I do like the idea of people not knowing what it is. And that was from the very beginning as well with the woman who like knew that the kid had something on him, and he's sort of hinting at it like, safer in numbers, they don't know what it is. they mentioned that it's in like 8 other states, so it happened 8 separate times in different places. And I actually thought that was a nice bit of knowledge for just the lore of the universe, because it's different from the comics. And I'm not caught up with the comics, but I'm pretty sure even in the comics, it's still just like, something's happening. So it was kind of cool even to have that mentioning that it didn't like start in a, well, we obviously had to have started somewhere, but it's already at the point of this show with no one even really knowing about it. It's already happened in 8 different places, and it still hasn't been like full on zombie apocalypse yet. But it's already been accounts of it in 8 separate states, and yet it hasn't already been mass hysteria. So it kind of makes me think about how things are going on and what this virus could be if it started up at in these different places, or if it's just people. Of course, story wise, it could be anything. So it could just be 8 people that kind of travel together, or just or on a plane together. So anything simple like that. That could have easily been the case. But I like that little tiny aspect of information. Like, it started up in different places as well, so it's already happening throughout the city. It doesn't just start in LA. It's started somewhere and it's already happening. But I liked it. It was a pretty cool first episode. Like I said, it was fairly slow. Honestly, like a big chunk of it, like in the middle, was like kind of slow for me. Like, it was a great first start, and then it kind of really slowed down, got into the characters and stuff. And I think I would have preferred it if it was the other way around, where it started off slow and then kind of picked up. And it also did do that by the end, because of course Nick has to fight back and survive, and then that character ends up becoming a zombie, and they have to run him over and stuff like that. So we do get our final zombie and stuff by the end of the episode, and it's a nice little sort of bookends with the beginning and the ending of the episode being like one of the main characters, and in this case by the end 3 of them actually interacting with a zombie face to face. So I enjoyed the episode as a whole. I definitely still enjoyed it. I am excited to see what happens throughout the rest of this, because with the other guy, with um, the adult male, I guess I'm trying to think of how to categorize the characters, because the one guy is obviously adult Nick, but I guess his stepdad, um, with him having his own son, it's like obviously we're gonna get something where it's like, I mean, I have to go get my son, and his mother. Like, I'm not with her, but it's still his mother. We have to all get the heck out of here and survive. So I'm very curious about how everything is going to take place, because it does. Like I said, it started off slow, and I think the last 20 minutes are where it really picked up, because the footage leaked after the traffic stop, and that's when everything really picked up throughout the episode, because it was like, all right, people are freaked out enough for school districts to be like, all right, we're closing the schools early. All the kids are evacuating and stuff, and then they still have to find Nick, who's also about to get killed. So, they have that go down, and then he kills him. And I knew that was going to happen. I thought that he'd actually have to deal with him much sooner. And I actually loved the fact that when they went back to the car, he wasn't even as a zombie. He wasn't there. He was like somewhere else in the tunnels. And I thought that was cool, because it was like, it made him kind of go crazy even more. And I was like, that was really cool as like the end of the episode. Because of course, after him seeing the zombie and his parents are there, it's like, okay, I'm officially not crazy. So this will really be like the only episode where he deals with the mental aspect of it. So I was glad they kind of threw it in even at the end, and he was freaking out and crying in his mom's arms. Like, like obviously I wasn't driven out here by myself, but maybe I was. Like, I don't know if this drug, whatever was happening, is still affecting me. So I love that they put that in there, even in the final moments, because unfortunately that won't carry over now that he knows, like, all right, officially something crazy is happening. I'm not going insane. So I love that we got to see that at the very end, at least, since, he has his official answer by the end, and it's not going to carry on throughout the episodes. But I enjoyed it. Like I said, Nick is the only character whose name that I know. I do remember the character Matt, who is the daughter's boyfriend. I have to assume, like pretty much everybody, he got killed somewhere, that we didn't see. That's why he never met her at the beach, and he never responded. He's dead. He's toast. I thought he was gonna be a main character too, but he's gonna be a zombie the next week. I have to assume. I don't know, but I like the episode. I'm excited to check out the next one. Um, I have no idea when this review is gonna go up because right now YouTube is being really stupid and I cannot log in to my account right now. It keeps giving me that stupid thing where it's like, "Oops, we're having troubles." So this could be a week late. It probably will be like it's currently like Wednesday because it's like 1 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So it'll probably be like officially a full week late or maybe even more depending on how long it takes me to figure all this crap out. But I'm still I'm gonna be reviewing. I still have like 5 other reviews that I did that I couldn't even upload. It's just been like I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but hopefully I can upload this soon enough where it's not completely irrelevant. But I did enjoy this episode, and of course I do want to know what you guys thought about this one. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and of course the main question is not whether or not this holds up to The Walking Dead because that's a very unfair comparison after some really, really great seasons. And everyone kind of hates season 2. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was okay, but it's established itself at this point, so it's not fair to compare that. But I just want to know, with this being like a miniature show, a miniature version of The Walking Dead, and sort of a precursor to The Walking Dead, I do want to know what you guys think about this. Like initially, what were your thoughts on it, and now that you've gotten to actually see the episode and we saw LA normal and everything's fine and the hints at the very end where things are starting to pick up. I definitely want to know what you guys think about that because I enjoyed it. Like I said, it was sort of a slow episode, but that was mostly us getting to know the characters, and I would have, of course, rather have done that, much like The Walking Dead, where it's like, all right, you can still do this, but let's just get zombies in. And it felt too normal for too long to me for it to, with it being The Walking Dead, it was like too much normal, like that first half of the episode. Like after the initial zombie thing, it's like Nick's stuff was awesome because he didn't know if it was real or if it was fake, so that I loved. And even his stepfather, like going to the place, I thought that was cool, even though he didn't actually get any info, and he did slip on the blood. I was like, that sucks. Like the one thing that happens, you run into a dude who's freaking out, like, don't eat me. He can't find that guy anymore. Then he slips, and it's like, oh, and there's just blood all over my hand. But it kind of slowed down, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a good first start, and I think I'm really glad that it picked up at the end because, like I said, with it being so short, I think it would be a really bad idea for them to stick to way too much of the normal life. So I think this was a great start, and then I think in the next episode we're going to really get to see these characters try to figure out, we know what's happening, so how do we escape before it gets crazy? And that I'm actually really looking forward to seeing because that's something we haven't had either. Like seeing normal life, you can just watch any other show, but seeing these characters know that they're zombies and know that they can get out before it gets insane, that's what I'm really looking forward to in this show. And I assume by the end, it's basically going to be like The Walking Dead, where it's just like everything's shut down and it's like, what the heck is going to happen now? But it was a good first start. I'm actually really excited for the next episode to see just how far they take it each week. And that's kind of the biggest thing because with it, once again, being so short, with the normal season, we get like 20 or so episodes. And it's like they can take things slow. They can have episodes where it's just characters talking back and forth. No big deal. We just get to learn about the characters. And in this case, they can't really do that because it's only like 10 episodes. So they kind of have to get through the story and get to the craziness and get to the zombies and get to whatever other characters they're going to have as main characters for what is hopefully going to be a season 2. I already want there to be another season of this just because it'll be a Walking Dead in a different area. It'll be different people. It won't be, any crossovers. They mentioned that a long time ago. So I actually enjoy that. So I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, I want to know what you guys thought about this premiere. So please comment below. Let me know. And thanks for watching.